This episode is presented to you in the form of an audiobook. Every struggle you face in life often comes down to one cause: caring too much about what others think of you. This constant concern for approval is the quiet root of unhappiness. Today, we explore The Courage to be Disliked, written by Japanese philosopher and psychologist Ichiro Kishimi and author Fumitake Koga. Together, they challenge how we view happiness, freedom, and human connection. They argued that no problem exists in isolation. Every worry involves the presence of others. There is no such thing as a purely internal worry, they write. In every concern, the shadows of others always exist. According to Kishimi and Koga, life only feels complicated because we make it so. The truth is simple. Happiness requires the courage to be disliked. Freedom doesn't mean escaping judgment. It means having the strength to face it and stay true to yourself. The problem isn't that you lack ability. It's that you lack courage. They say that the courage to be happy includes the courage to be disliked. When you gain that courage, your relationships become lighter, freer, and more genuine. Kishimi and Koga's ideas draw deeply from the psychology of Alfred Adler, who believed that each person is a unified whole: body, mind, and emotion working toward a single purpose. Everything we think, feel, or do serves a goal, even if we're unaware of it. For Adler, personality isn't fixed. It's shaped by the lifestyle we choose. Our habits, thoughts, and emotions form patterns that reflect the goals we've set for ourselves. Even behavior that seems antisocial or negative is, in Adler's view, a chosen strategy to reach some desired end. This changes how we see emotions. They're not uncontrollable forces. They're tools we create to serve hidden purposes. Take fear, for example. Someone may claim they're too anxious to attend a job interview. On the surface, it looks like fear is the problem. But Kishimi and Koga suggest something deeper. Perhaps that person's real goal is to avoid failure. Fear becomes a convenient excuse to escape risk. In this sense, our emotions don't define us. We define them. Many people believe trauma shapes their lives permanently. Kishimi and Koga disagree. They acknowledge that the past influences us, but it doesn't determine us. They write, "We do not suffer from the shock of our experiences, but from the meaning we give them. What happens to you does not decide your future. How you interpret it does. No matter what your past holds, your choices in this moment define your life." So, if happiness is a choice, why do people choose unhappiness? According to Kishimi and Koga, unhappiness can be a hidden strategy, a way to pursue certain goals. People often cling to suffering because it serves a purpose, even if that purpose is unconscious. Unhappy people, they explain, tend to focus on gaining approval. Their sense of worth depends on being liked, accepted, and praised by others. But when you base your happiness on approval, freedom disappears. You become trapped in a cycle of constant comparison and quiet anxiety. To live always aware of others' eyes, they write, to shape yourself to please them, is to abandon your freedom. To avoid being disliked is to give up authenticity. And without authenticity, happiness is impossible. Even praise, they warn, is a subtle form of control. When you live for praise, you measure yourself by someone else's standards. Seeking approval is also a game you can never win. No matter what you do, you can't control how others feel about you. When approval doesn't come, despair follows. Many people respond by giving up, convincing themselves that something is wrong with them. This becomes a defense mechanism, a way to justify not trying again. But giving up doesn't free them. It deepens their attachment to approval. They still care. They've just convinced themselves they can't win. This mindset poisons relationships. When happiness depends on comparison, every success around you feels like a personal failure. Approval becomes a competition. Someone else's praise feels like your loss. In this world, others stop being companions and become rivals. Jealousy grows, resentment builds, and isolation follows. It doesn't stop there. This hunger for recognition also distorts kindness. People begin to treat love and friendship like transactions. I did this for you, so you owe me. They organize a birthday party expecting one in return. They offer help, but secretly want gratitude. When it doesn't come, they feel betrayed. The act wasn't kindness, it was a trade. When both sides behave this way, resentment festers, and relationships become silent contracts of unmet expectations. Kishimi and Koga offer a simple alternative. Instead of seeking to be liked, focus on being useful. Happy people, they explain, find joy in contribution, in knowing their existence benefits others. They don't help for recognition. Help because it gives their lives meaning. They write, "If one truly feels contribution, there is no need for recognition. The awareness of being of use is enough." This idea is what Adler called community feeling, a sense of belonging and purpose rooted in trust, contribution, and acceptance. Helping others, they argue, is not self-sacrifice. It's a source of fulfillment. True happiness often arises when we make someone else's life easier. Wanting to help because it makes you happy isn't selfish. It's sustainable. It keeps you connected to others without the burden of expectation. Kishimi and Koga go further. They say your existence alone has value. You don't need achievements to matter. Just by being here, by sharing space, by showing kindness, you contribute to others' lives. When you see yourself this way, life stops being a competition. There's no hierarchy of worth, only a web of connection. Happy people celebrate others' success because they understand that someone else's light doesn't dim their own. They don't compare, they connect. Finally, Kishimi and Koga remind us that happiness isn't found in extraordinary achievements, but in living fully in the present. Many believe happiness lies at the end of some accomplishment, after success, approval, or recognition. But happiness doesn't wait there. It exists in the simple, quiet moments of today. Life is happening now, in the small ways you care, the choices you make, and the courage you show. If your journey ended today, would you feel it was meaningful? If you can say yes, you've already lived well. The core message of the courage to be disliked is simple. You cannot please everyone. Some will misunderstand you. Some will judge you. Some will walk away. But if you stand firm in your values, if you act from love instead of fear, then you are truly free. To live with courage is to live truthfully. To live truthfully is to accept being disliked. And in that acceptance lies the quiet power of genuine happiness.